Namaste. Today we are going to talk about the Guru Purnima. I have been receiving a lot of namaskars and people have been seeking my blessings, and some of them have, like Aparna, sent some sweets, and of course I enjoyed it. Today a lot of people came. But there is a big debate about the importance of Guru in your sadhana. Now, if you ask me as a meditator, as a person, do you need to follow your Guru? I would say no, don't follow your Guru. Don't follow. It's very, very important that you follow your practice. You follow your routine. Between listening to the discourse of the Guru and doing your practice, give importance to practice. That will help you a lot. There are people in the name of spirituality would like to promote their name, would be using you as like an insurance salesman, would be taking all your money and all that, saying that they want to teach you something. No, don't waste your time. Practice is the key. The great Patanjali says, Abhyasa, Vairagya, you can master yoga. So in this Guru Purnima day, the first message which I want to give it to you is, put your faith on the practice. Don't even put the faith on me. Don't even put your faith on anything else, because practice will lead to experience. Experience, you can have faith because it is your own experience. You can have plus or minus in that experience. In practice, you will know who you are. For example, I want to do 50 push-ups. If I am not able to do, that practice is reflecting my limitation. If I want to do 108 pranayama, the practice is being like a mirror. So the first and the most important thing is put your faith on the practice. Lot of people in the name of Guru says, oh, you know, you have to follow me, you have to dedicate your life to me, you have to do this, do that. These are all rogues. These are all bloody liars. In practice, you will know who you are. Actually, the coach can train you for anything. For example, you take the Olympic guys, you take the guys who are doing the cricket. I have always used to say, my coach used to say, your matches will tell you about your practice. Your practice will tell you about your attitude, what you carry over. So the point is, when you're getting tested in the reality of life, suppose you don't have money, suppose you are very emotionally disturbed. For example, right now, I was actually sleeping in the afternoon and I was slowly getting into depression. I realized there were like the lower astral forces who were trying to project depression on me as a person. So immediately I cut the cords for all the chakras and suddenly the mood got dispersed. Did I get into my practice at that particular point of time? Yes, that will make a difference. Suppose you don't have money, suppose you are financially troubled, can you go ahead and read the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam to get on with the thing? So it is a practice which will give you faith. Put your faith on the practice. Don't put it on anything else. If you are emotionally disturbed, you are mentally disturbed, anything, just get back to your practice. That is very, very important. I know one meditation teacher who told me very beautifully. He said, whether you're sick, whether you're hungry, whether you're happy, whether you're elevated, get onto your meditation mat. That is how you become a great meditator. You can get inspired with Milarepa, or you can get inspired with anyone else across. But what will deliver you out of this delusionary world is your practice. That is why Buddha, when he died, he says very beautifully, somebody asked him, what is your final message to the world? He says, Apadipo Bhava. Be a lamp unto thyself. You can become a lamp only if you have a constant practice. You can listen, you can miss the discourse of the Guru. It's okay, but don't miss your practice. That is very, very important. That's why many people in the name of spirituality, they keep on thinking, how do I become happy? I want to listen to this lecture. That lecture is not going to deliver. You know why India does not deliver in the Olympics in the gold medal? It's because it's very simple. You see the badminton guys, they will talk less and they'll be highly focused. How many times have you seen PV Sindhu's interview? How many times have you seen Sania Nehwal's interview? No, you will not see. The guy Bindra who shot the Olympic gold medal, have you seen his interview? Post After he became very successful, people started calling up. So remember, media, limelight, becoming famous and successful is a detrimental thing to your practice across. Don't get carried away. Whether it is social media or anything like that, it is just a distraction. I was seeing the video of Neer Yal. He talks about distraction, but the point is you can be focused only if you remember the impermanence of life. I met a beautiful teacher who said to me, he said, if you were to die tomorrow, what would you do, Gopal? He asked me. I said, maybe I would call up my friend. No, you don't. I mean, you're going to die tomorrow. Think about it. Think about carefully what you will do in your life. And suddenly I realized I was doing a lot of unnecessary thing. Imagine you're going to die within 1 week. What will you do? Imagine you're going to die within next 1 year. What would you do? If you put the death on the perspective, then your practice will be amazing. You will have the veer bhav to practice. You will have the determination, the vairagya to practice across. Otherwise, this will be another Guru Purnima day. People will come, people will go, everybody will come and do. Unless your meditation practice reaches 8 to 10 hours a day, you're not going to go anywhere across. Don't believe this bhajan will help you to deliver thing, this Kundalini awakening will all to deliver thing. No, nothing will deliver unless you get fully involved with your practice. That's what Christianity says beautifully, ceaseless praying, prayer without ceasing. How would you do in the walking practice? Are you filled with love? Are you filled with compassion? Is your equanimity getting disturbed? Which means you are still believing in the delusionary of life. If you look everything as a wave which is coming and going, if you look at every relationship is like a wave which is coming and going, you will realize you will always be equanimous because it is just a wave. So what is there? It is just an illusion. Then you can practice loving kindness. Otherwise you will get addicted to objects, you will get addicted to people across. There is nothing wrong in getting appreciated, but what people do is they lose their focus on the practice across. So remember, whether you have 20 years ahead, 10 years ahead, all that matter which will deliver you is practice. That is why I say to people, don't believe Guru, don't read the books of the Guru. Put your faith on the practice, put your faith on the experience. Do you believe Kundalini exists? Have you tested it out? Do you believe the astral being exists? If you see it, nobody needs to convince you about it. If you don't see it, it is all a theoretical humbug. There are a lot of people who quote Bhagavad Gita, who do this, who do that. This is what Krishna said. I would put it up in probably an American movie slang. He said, Arjuna, fuck you. I know what I'm doing about it. You go ahead and do what you are asked to do about it. That's exactly. If Arjuna can draw the bow and hit you, why are you not practicing? Ask yourself in this Guru Purnima day, is it important to massage gurus? It is important to talk about the glory of the Guru, or it is the performance really matters? So actually I would give you an example. Sainia Nehwal's mother was very sick. She had an accident. I saw the movie. In that moment, she picks up her badminton and starts moving towards her practice across. So her father says, it is a time to pray. He says, if my mother was alive, she would have expected me to practice and deliver the match. So the best way to compliment your Guru is to get enlightened. The best way to come to give the glory to the Guru is to come out of the wheel of life. So don't waste your time in thinking if he is a genuine Guru, he wouldn't be worried about marketing. He wouldn't be worried about whether he is taking money, whether he is going to buy objects or anything like that. All he will be worried is, are you practicing? Are you there sitting in your meditation mat? If your Guru is like that, follow him. But remember, practice. He should be an inspiration. He should be a motivation. He should be sitting longer in the prayer mat than giving all kinds of crappy discourse which will never help to heal a person. It is a pain which opens up the soul. It is the uncertainty which opens the soul. It is the faith. Imagine like Moses, the Pharaoh is chasing you. You will get killed if you get caught. At that moment, he delivered because his practice was immense. He could deliver it any time. In the same way, you should be doing it. We appreciate Sachin Tendulkar. We appreciate Dhoni because they deliver all the time. The best way to deliver is to practice. Forget annoyed about gurus. All they talk about, oh, Guru, Adhan, the Timra, he removes about the delusion. It's all balls. I have sat with many gurus who are probably wearing a Garuva, and I went to Tiruvannamalai. There was a lady who said, oh, fall at my feet, because that's what they think it is a nourishing thing. All they think about, if somebody falls at their feet, they feel they are great and this and that. It's very, very simple. There was a guy by name Papaji who went to Ramana Bhagavan. He said, I am seeing Rama and Krishna. Bhagavan Ramana asked very beautifully, then why are they not coming here? He said, no, this is all illusionary. That is the real master. He'll ask you, why don't you deliver it every day? Actually, Winston Churchill got up to speak. There was a lady who got up and who opposed him. She said, oh, and she stammered. Again she said, oh. She did it 3 times. He said very beautifully, Winston Churchill said, madam, you conceived thrice, you have never even delivered one. It's the same thing. You can run behind a different meditation technique conception, but you will never deliver. The greatness of this is guys like Sankaracharya, guys like probably Gautam the Buddha, Milarepa, Shantideva, Nagarjuna, they delivered. That's why they are enlightened people. Nobody can save you than your practice. Nobody can make you a disaster by reading more and more and more theory. So an ounce of theory, just like a pinch of salt, smell Bhagavad Gita and leave it. But practice, you will become like Arjuna. But if you go on reading like anybody else, you will become the old paper mart. You will be thrown out by life, and life will teach you very hard at the time of death. So I pray God, may your practice intensify. May you be dedicated. Even if you forget me, it's okay. May your practice be so perfect that may the heavens shower the blessings on you. Thank you.